In the 11th century, a name was spoken only in fear. A brotherhood hidden in the shadows. A network so disciplined that empires trembled. They were called the Assassins. But history has lied about them. They were not mindless killers. They were not drugged fanatics. They were strategists. They were scholars. They were survivors in a divided world. This is the real story of the Nizari Ismailis. The truth behind the word assassin. And once you hear it, you will never see history the same way again. In the mountains of Persia, a shadow was born. A shadow existed. A shadow that would terrify empires. That would conquer states. That would become a superpower. They were called the Assassins. In Arabic, it is called Hashashin. But their real name was the Nizari Ismailis. To understand them, we must return to a fractured world. In the 11th century, the Abbasid Caliphate still claimed authority. They were in control of many regions. But real power belonged to the Seljuk Empire. This empire existed newly in the region therefore. In Egypt, the Fatimid Caliphate ruled. They had full control of Egypt. Religion and politics collided. Scholars were debating. Minority sects were watched, and sometimes suppressed. And in this unstable world, a strategist was preparing. A shadow was preparing to rise. His name was Hassan I Sabah. He was not born a warrior. He was not born a killer. He was born a scholar. When the Fatimid Caliphate fractured, when the time came for Hassan to choose a side, so he chose a side. He supported Nizar. The Seljuks saw this as rebellion, and they were definitely searching for him to kill him. So Hassan searched for a fortress in order to save themselves from Seljuks. In 1090, he captured Alamut he conquered, and from this mountain, a new kind of warfare began, a new shape of history making. The Nizaris were few in numbers. Their enemies were many, so they chose precision over power. One target, one mission. In 1092, the Seljuk vizier was assassinated. They killed Seljuk's vizier. The empire trembled. The message was psychological. No fortress could guarantee safety. This was not random violence. It was calculated political warfare. Crusaders called them Hashashin. Legends claimed they used hashish, but historians find no solid proof. The word became assassin, and the myth became stronger than the truth. The Crusades reshaped the region. War consumed the Levant. Even Saladin faced assassination attempts. But he lived. And they put a letter for him to go back and not attack on them. After Saladin take off the siege. The Nizaris survived by negotiation as much as by blades. Alamut was not only a fortress. It was a center of knowledge. They studied theology. They studied philosophy. They studied science. They were thinkers in a violent age. They were the researcher. In the 13th century, a greater storm arrived. A storm of blood arrived. Hulagu Khan marched toward Persia. In 1256, Alamut fell. Hulagu Khan captured it. Libraries were destroyed. Books were burned. The political power of the assassins ended. They were badly defeated politically. But the community survived. The community remained. Today they are known as the Nizari Ismaili community. They focus on education and development. They focus on progression. Their story is not one of fantasy. It is a story of survival. A story of strategy. A story of struggle. A story of a minority navigating a dangerous world. And in the silence of those mountains, the legend remains. The assassins remain. For centuries, they were feared. For centuries, they were misunderstood. They were forgotten. But history is not written in whispers. It is written in survival. The assassins were not monsters. They were a minority navigating power, politics, and persecution. Their fortress fell. Their libraries burned. But their community survived. And that is the part history rarely tells. The real story of the assassins is not about fear. It is about strategy. It is about resilience. It is about how small movements can challenge empires. And in the silence of Alamut's mountains, the shadow still remains. If you want more real Islamic history without myths and exaggeration, subscribe. Because the truth of history deserves to be told.